For those that traveled in, glad you made it. Hopefully, safe travels back home. Thanks for all the work that each and every one of you do. We don't get to tell you and express that enough. You all have hard jobs. Technology changes every day, so your job description changes every day. And you all do a phenomenal job of accomplishing the things that we ask you to do. So without further ado, the gentleman to my right, that's Joey Harrison. He is our new HR director. He's going to help make our lives so much better and easier, and we're looking forward to working with him and his group. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, Joey.
All right, Glenn. Well, thank you. So I'm really need to kind of start out with your work life part of it. He said your life. That's a lot. I disconnected the phone a minute ago. So hopefully we got over that little bump and everything else will run smoothly today. Real excited to be here. How are y'all doing today? I'm really convinced. It's good to have everybody in the room. We have been working with DTS folks for several months now, preparing for this optimization effort. And we, on the DIT side, are really excited about this opportunity. It's a big opportunity to grow a state agency. DIT has really been an agency just for a few years, although over the years and decades, as some of you may know and have experienced, it's been an organization that's functioned for a long time. So we're really excited to be a part of establishing a new state agency, really setting the foundation for providing the best IT services across the state. And we're really excited to have y'all to become a part of our family and for us to get together, collaborate, and figure out how to make, how to deliver on what we have to deliver on a daily basis. So want to go over some things today. Most of the messaging is what's really going to remain the same. We certainly will cover what will be different, but we want to share information with you. We want to have time at the end to answer any questions that you may have. If we don't have an answer for you today, we'll be honest with you about that, and we'll get back to you quickly with the accurate information that you deserve. Working through a process like this takes a lot of partners, and so in a little bit I'm going to introduce the DIT Human Resources Division and the staff members. They, for the most part, all that could be here today are here, so we want you to see that, get to know them, and realize they're here because they want to ensure that you all are as comfortable as possible with our process and with this change. In addition to those folks, we've got folks in the room from Office of State Controller because we want to ensure that any change like this goes smoothly from a payroll benefits perspective, a beacon perspective, if you will. We've got folks from our communications team. We've got over at DIT, we've got folks that work on the DTS side with human resources or fiscal that are in the room as well. We've got staff from DIT fiscal here. So, and let me, before I forget, I did want to point one person out because I found out today that was the big mystery, okay? And she's in the back of the room here. Lee Jackson is one of the DIT employees. You know, she's kind of in the back today, so I'm losing a little bit of steam on it, but the other day she was up front, and she's the only one I didn't introduce. So when you go through these things, you always find out what you did well and, you know, some things you could have done better. But Lee's really valuable to our team and has helped us out a great deal, and I appreciate all that she does for us. So just going to jump in. Again, we want to have some time at the end to answer any of your questions. If you have one that's burning, raise your hand and we'll jump on it. Want to provide members of the senior leadership team for DIT, want to see what we can do. Most of them had other things they needed to really focus on today in terms of their jobs, but wanted to at least be able to tell you visually and show you who they are and what their roles are. You can go ahead and click through. This is a really good executive team. I've been at DIT as the HR director since October of 2017, and one thing that I've learned and I've heard from day one is all about the good people that work for DIT. Folks are very supportive of one another. It's a good work environment to be a part of, and folks are friendly and generally enjoy the work that they do, you know, as much as you can since you get paid to do it, right? So that's what I've experienced so far being on the senior leadership team. All of these folks are very approachable. They are approachable regardless of what level in the organization you function. I'm not just saying that because I'm on the senior leadership team. So they listen and they try to figure out how to make things better. And they really do want to hear from employees and do what they can to be as supportive as they can as you carry out the work that you do on a daily basis. So I'm sure as y'all become a part of our agency, you'll get to know these folks better, and just keep in mind that they are approachable, and if you have something that you want to talk about, take that opportunity because they won't know unless you do so. A couple of items, just want to give a quick overview of what we look to cover today. You know, we're probably going to get you out of here by 5:30 or 6. We do want to get to the point, and we really want to spend more time at the end with the questions and answers, or even just mingling a little bit and getting to know you. So that's really where we feel the value will come in for the session today. But we do have information to share. Want to talk about the strategic plan or vision, how the secretary, who also is considered the state chief information officer, likes to organize our business. So he really likes to focus on the what, how, and the why of DIT. I want to share the HR organizational chart with everyone here today and introduce individual team members. Want to talk about what will be the same and what will change related to employment. Mention that we have a specific acceptable use policy and go over that briefly because we will need for folks to all sign off on that. And then want to provide some additional information related to contact information. We're not looking to come today and just have this session and then you never see us again. We want to interact with you on a daily basis and support you as much as possible. A couple of hot topics for any optimization, transition, consolidation, whichever term you want to use: benefits, time administration, email, badging, parking, and then everybody's favorite topic, NCID. I need some work.
I didn't lose some up enough for you.
I know. Yeah. Only as good as the opening act, I guess. So, in terms of strategy and how we go about conducting our business on a daily, monthly, or annual basis is the what we do, and that's providing IT services, solutions, and support to all of our stakeholders, whether it's other state agencies, community college or university setting, or even some other partners that we work with along the way. We are in it to deliver services well, and that's one of our primary goals. And the only way that we can do that is to collaborate and build partnerships. I talk about that a lot in the Human Resources Division. We've got to lean on each other. We've got to be honest about where we may not be as strong. One of our coworkers may be stronger in that area, so let's work together to accomplish those same goals. Consolidation of services is a big part of this optimization effort. We certainly want to find ways to be more efficient in how we conduct the IT business, deliver the service, develop the solutions, that sort of thing. So the legislature established that we should try to bring these types of efforts together so that we can lean on each other and build our own internal partnerships to do just that, consolidate and then really deliver better. We do need a strategy. We do need to take an enterprise approach and not just focus on agency to agency. We've got to ensure security. We all know how important security is across all of the systems and the work that we do, quite frankly. And we've got to build a trust that we are going to deliver what folks need as best we can. So building the trust and sharing visions across agencies is a part of how we are trying to accomplish the what. And the why is really the most important part to me, I think. I've been in state government for over 22 years now. I grew up in Wake County. I went to college in North Carolina. I've lived all my years in North Carolina, all 21. And I really work for the state because I want to change that perception. I want to deliver. I always heard, well, you know, if you work for the state, you don't really have to do that much. That's not been my experience for 22 years. I've worked hard, and I want folks that I work with to work with that same type of passion because, you know, we're setting an example, and folks count on us for a lot of things, and we really have to deliver. So I'm excited to be here today just to try to support and guide this overall effort because I know that I can work real hard and make it as positive as it can possibly be. So I want to take some time to introduce the folks that work in DIT Human Resources today. Just a little bit of background. I'd mentioned that I started as the HR director in the latter part of 2017, and one of the first things that I knew I needed to do was truly build an HR division. When I got to the agency, I felt like we had a human resources office, but I knew that, hey, you know, Harrison, you're walking into an agency, and we had about 600 positions and employees. Well, through optimization, we're going to get to 2,400, and that's a huge change. You know, even the fact that I went to Garner High School, I knew that was quadrupling the number of positions and employees. Anybody from Garner in here? Don't try to. It's all good. You know, we got to have to laugh about it. Love Garner, G-Town. So the working through that and just trying to breathe through the fact that we're going to be changing and growing at that rate, that size, and how quickly we need to accomplish it, and to make sure that we do it effectively and efficiently. I need some help, and I have been working really hard with some of my team members to build out this division, so I'm excited. And first person I wanted to introduce today on the left-hand side of the O chart here is Deanna Putney. She's here. Would you mind standing up and waving? Deanna is she's a recent hire, and you guys may see a trend here, okay, if you haven't already picked up on it. But Deanna started July 30th of 2018. She is our performance management program coordinator, but she's also helping us with organizational development initiatives, and that's certainly something that we need to have from HR to be able to support the growth of an agency and to really start establishing culture and how we want to conduct business. So Deanna's already working and partnering with different members on our senior leadership team to push on those initiatives, but she is also working really hard to try to establish the value of employee performance management across our organization. That's a challenge in all organizations, but certainly in ours, we've got a lot of work to do there. But we're grateful to have her on the team. Deanna has had different roles, similar capacities with State Highway Patrol. She's also worked with the Office of State Human Resources in the past. And we are working together right now. We have a vacancy posted to have an HR technician to provide support to the programs that she manages. So I hope to get that position filled in the next month or so. So that's Deanna. Next person I'd like to introduce is Angela McCrae. Angela is our class and comp program manager and is also program manager for recruitment and selection. So everybody perked up when they heard class and comp. Everybody. Yeah, everybody. Angela worked with DOT for over 13 years in HR operations. She had different roles there. Most recently, she was working in class and comp there, and you know, I know that she has an clear understanding of the challenges related to IT, class and comp, and recruitment and selection initiatives. So I felt that for us to move forward, trying to combine those program areas together, they could talk to one another on a daily basis, and that should help us to have better outcomes on both sides. So that's part of how I've decided to organize that. Angela has been on the DIT HR team since February of last year, so she's almost got a year in, and she keeps coming back. That's a good thing. Just wanted to introduce Angela today. On Angela's team is David Gaines. David's in the back. David is a class comp analyst on Angela's team and our team, and he has he's been working with us since last May. So again, a lot of folks being hired in 2018. David is a certified compensation professional, and we really needed to have someone with that type of background on our team because information technology, compensation, and employment is a challenge for any state agency. It's a challenge for any organization, even in the private sector. So really want to lean on David's background, both in the private sector as well as local government, to see how we can incorporate a strategic vision for making improvements when it comes to compensation. So glad to have David on board. Next person I'd like to introduce on Angela's team is Kim Sprague. Kim is one of the more recent hires in DIT Human Resources. She started working with us September of 2018, and she provides consultation on the hiring process. Kim has worked in a couple of different agencies in state government like Commerce. That's where she came to us from. She also worked with the State Highway Patrol, Agriculture, and has already helped us a great deal with clarifying what our recruitment and selection process looks like at DIT, finding ways to establish some expectations, whether it's the human resources steps in the process or what a supervisor or hiring manager would need to do. So getting that process laid out and delivering some training were key initiatives that she really jumped on as soon as she got to our agency, and we've already delivered on some of those trainings. So we're going to offer that type of training to the supervisors for DPS IT, and we look forward to doing that here in the next couple of weeks once we get past the February 1st effective date. One thing that Kim has also helped out on and want to mention it is cleaning up NeoGov. We need to use NeoGov system much more so than we do. You know, it is an IT system, so we're DIT. We need to be using it better, and we already are. So we want to mention that. Winky Guan is the last person currently on Angela's team. Winky also supports the recruitment and selection process from a technician perspective. Winky has experience in the private sector, and that's one thing that I want to emphasize. A lot of times human resources offices or divisions in state government tend to recruit from within. And, you know, I'm one of those folks. I've had the opportunity to promote to different roles as a career state employee. But one thing as a director I want to see, especially in the IT environment, is that we bring in fresh ideas. And so Winky provides those to us from her background in the private industry. And we're glad to have her on our team. Some of the work that she does in the hiring process includes screening applications for us, posting vacancies, and helping us to manage those NeoGov records that we're using more so now. Thanks, Winky. Winky's got such a great personality. You see her and she kind of seems like she's quiet, and then she throws that zinger at you. She fits right in. Next person I want to introduce within DIT Human Resources is Daphne Richardson. Daphne is one of our HR managers, similar to Angela's role, but she manages different program areas. She is program manager for our employee relations work that we do in support of our organization, as well as diversity and inclusion initiatives. We certainly feel that we need to have a diverse workforce and have ideas from different perspectives in order to really meet all the needs of our state as it changes as we go through time. And so she's helping us with those efforts. She is our Equal Employment Officer for the agency. And she is a person that's almost been at DIT for a year in HR also. So we hired her in February of last year. And Daphne comes to us with a lot of experiences across different areas of human resources. She has the employee relations and EEO background, but she also has been a class and comp analyst in the past. She's managed benefits programs. She has a little bit of background in what it means to be exempt from the State HR Act. And so those are things that we're putting to use on our team. She has not only worked in state agencies like Health and Human Services and Office of State Human Resources, but also has time in the university systems at NC State and North Carolina Central University. So we're lucky to have Daphne on our team. So on Daphne's team, we have Evangeline Phillips. Evangeline is not here today, but I want to mention that Evangeline's got a unique perspective on all this because Evangeline's been a DIT employee for going on 20 years now, and most of her time has been in human resources. So we lean on Evangeline a lot for that background knowledge that she has on how things have evolved over the years as a work division reporting to different agencies across, more than 2 decades, I would say. Evangeline's role is primarily in employee relations, and she provides consultation to employees and supervisors, but she also gets involved in our temporary employment process and boarding processes. Next person on Daphne's team is Sabrina Bridges. Sabrina is our training and development coordinator. She is started with us last May, and so she's coming up on a year and a couple of months here. She has training experience, learning the kind of the state government way of doing things. We all know how that is. It takes a little bit of time to get up to speed, and she's similar to Winky in that regard, learning how the state operates and conducts business. But Sabrina has worked in the private university setting and then also in private industry. So we're glad to have her on the team. Next person I'd like to introduce is Veronica Watson. Veronica has a presentation part today, so you'll get to hear from her shortly. Veronica started working with us. Any guesses as to what year? Last year. Veronica was hired into a position to support these types of efforts where we're working to optimize IT staff from other cabinet agencies. So she came in and really helped to work hard on the optimization of the DOT IT staff. Most recently, she's assumed responsibility as our benefits rep for the agency. She has a strong background in benefits, leave administration. She's been involved in recruitment selection. So we really had a need, and she was willing to step into that hole and has been helping us out a great deal with benefits administration so far. Veronica used to work with public safety, so we were lucky enough to kind of snag her and have her come over and work with us. Other agencies she has worked at include Health and Human Services and DMV. Jennifer Yon Utley, last person to introduce on Daphine's team today. Jennifer is another key member of our team. She's worked at DIT for over 13 years. And Jennifer plays a critical role to kind of keep us tied together in human resources, manages and kicks off our boarding processes, manages our badging that can be a challenge on a daily basis. But she does a good job with those things. And she has worked in some other areas in DIT in the past related to user support. So that knowledge is always helpful to have internal to the Human Resources Division. The last person I'd like to introduce today, but not least, is Lori Goldsmith. Lori has worked in human resources at different agencies, worked at DOT for a year or two, right? Couple years?
A little over a year.
A little over a year. And she has, most of her experience in state government, however, was with public safety and other arms of public safety. So she's very familiar with how public safety operates and the challenges to get work done in terms of what the objectives are. So we're glad to have her here supporting optimization, not just for DPS, but all agencies. And Lori will be speaking here in just a few minutes. Lori started working with us in June of last year. So a lot of work that's been done just to build out this division and how it functions as of today. And a couple of other folks that are listed on the organization chart, Amy Grice and Amy Wolf-Tarleton. These two employees work for the DOT CIO, Frank Wynn, and they came over as HR technicians from DOT. So they were working on site with DOT IT, and they are an extension of our office. They still work on site with Frank and DOT IT, but we have to work closely with them to help them understand how we want to conduct our HR business. So they're good partners for us. So a couple of documents wanted to mention today, and we're going to go over these in a little more detail. Want to make sure that as we're working through the paperwork part of our effort, that you're aware of our acceptable use policy and that we need all of the DPS IT staff to acknowledge by signing that form. We want to make sure that we have from everyone an employee emergency information sheet. We want to retain that in Central Human Resources in our division so that we can be able to contact someone in case there's an emergency that any of our employees are involved in at work. Hopefully we're working hard to avoid emergencies, accidents, or injuries, but every now and then you may need to reach someone, and we need to have that information current and easy to access. We do want to have everyone complete a work schedule document, and basically what we're asking is that everybody record their current work schedule arrangement on that form so that we'll be aware of it. There may be opportunities down the road for work scheduling to be adjusted. As an agency, we have some flexibility for that, but in the end, we've got to make sure that it's going to meet the business needs of the organization you support. So we're going to have those requests processed up through supervisors and managers.
So the work schedule form that went out to you all does not account for all the work schedules that UPS currently has. So just please indicate on the form, I've been telling people to fill out the 2-week block and to write a note, like if you work 4 10s or whatever your actual work hours are, so that we know. So you might just have to make a notation on the form, but we just want what it currently is.
Okay. DIT has a non-disclosure agreement. We will need for every employee to review that and to sign off acknowledging what's included and what the expectations are for non-disclosure of information. So we'll provide some more detail later in the presentation. Documents that may be needed would include secondary employment form. If you have a secondary employment arrangement already in place, we're looking to continue to support that. We just need to make sure you push that through supervisor and send up to us so that we'll have it in the human resources file. Criminal background check. Want to mention that DIT requires a background check for all employees who are offered a position. One thing that's different here than some other agencies that I've worked at is if you apply and are offered a promotion within DIT, you will have to go through another background check. So that's part of our policy. It may be that we need you to complete a payroll parking request form. That's primarily for folks that currently work and have a parking space through Department of Administration downtown Raleigh. So that may apply to you. And then the alternate work schedule request is similar to the work schedule form that I was mentioning on the left-hand side of the chart. And last but not least, we do have the opportunity to telework at DIT. We have a policy that we implemented July 1st of last year. And again, that's an arrangement where, you may request it, but it's going to have to be something that your supervisor and your management up through Glenn will be able to approve in order for you to get a telework agreement in place. So I think he would look for that to be something that y'all work through once we get down the road and past our optimization effort. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Lori and let her talk about a couple of items, and then she'll turn it over to Veronica, and then we'll wrap it up and see what kind of questions you guys may have. Lori?
Hi, everyone. I want to talk about what's changing, not changing, kind of a trip here. Most things are going to stay exactly the same. The work that you do, your coworkers, people you work for, people you support, all that's exactly the same. Your salary, your classification, stay the same. State health plan, your current NC Flex benefits, the same, right? Okay. Any other payroll deductions like scenic, you have a loan, anything like that coming out, stay the same. Your retirement, you still get the wonderful 6% coming out for that. You'll still be at the same work location. Your phone number, you have a cell number, that will stay the same. You'll continue to use your GPS email address. We're going to create alias, you all know that term, right? Alias email accounts so that you will receive information that goes out to DIT employees, but it'll be routed through your GPS email. Sorry. The current process for getting reimbursements related to travel, training, that will stay exactly the same. You continue to use your GPS badge, to come in here, any other badges you might currently have. You will be getting a DIT badge as well. If you park downtown, that will stay the same. It's really more of a administrative change to make sure that the money is deducted from DIT, but you'll have the same spot, everything like that if you do park downtown. You will be in a much smaller agency with the emphasis on IT. This is the best change, right? So you'll be a bigger, you'll have more weight in the agency, right? I mean, everyone knows how big public safety is. IT might not be the biggest focus here, right? So, but you're going to be going to a place where IT is the focus. There is specific training for you all under DIT for Pluralsight and Gardner. So that's a good, agency-specific training for you all. You'll get a new DIT badge so that you can come to 3700 and 3900 Wake Forest Road. We'll be passing those out later this month. I think everybody, hopefully you've gotten a picture made for that. If you have any agency-specific benefits, those will stop at the transfer. I think everybody should have been notified. And we're going to talk a little bit about it more in the presentation. But you can continue to pay those vendors directly, or if you do have MetLife Dental, you can switch to the NC Plus Dental. And there's a few policy changes, like the telework policy, that's a different, unique to the DIT. So it's not offered here. The acceptable use policy was sent out to you all through LMS. Basically, DIT does have a unique policy for this. You will continue to follow DPSs as well as DITs. And you can just read and acknowledge it through LMS. The criminal record checks, DPS was unable to locate your background check for some people. Everyone's been notified that if you were affected by that. The main thing is that, like Joey mentioned, if you do promote up within DIT, you will need to complete a new criminal background check. The non-disclosure agreement is similar to the acceptable use policy in that there is a unique one for DIT. And basically, you just need to follow both DPSs and DITs. Let's see. So you'll just continue to use your NC DPS, right, email. And then we'll give you the alias email, but you won't even really see it. You'll just continue to use your DPS one. I think some of you probably have 5 or 6, maybe, aliases already. And so from your perspective, just use the DPS one, and you'll get all the email that you need to from DIT. DPS IT, we're going to call it, you're going to be a unique division within the agency, and you'll be DIT Public Safety Division. We're going to be sending out information for you all to add to your email signature box. And so, like I said, just keep using your same current badge, and we're going to come back hopefully later this month or early next month with these wonderful green badges, right, for you guys to use if you need to come to a meeting or need to come to HR or anything for our locations on Wake Forest Road. And we're taking the pictures. Okay, can't see. I know some folks, I think, have multiple badges now, even a DPS. All of your current access to get into different facilities, none of that's going to change. So your NCID will stay the same. Continue to use, like, you should still have access to any systems that you currently use, any databases. That should all stay exactly the same. Once the transition is complete, you'll be able to utilize our DIT SharePoint site for various forms, policies, information related to the agency. And you'll be added to our Active Directory. Okay, this is very exciting stuff. Your leave balances, any comp time you might have, will transfer over when you transfer it to us. You continue to utilize ESS and MSS to enter and record your time, just do the same exact process that you do now. It's the same, and this is a standard, but the leave time, once you've worked over half the working days in the month and they've been approved, then you'll earn your vacation and sick leave for that month. DIT is also positive time, so you have to enter and record all your time. Now this is, I think something went out about this, but basically try your very, very best to enter all your time up through January 31st of this month. We're advising if you can keep up with it weekly, and then that very last week you just enter for Monday through Thursday, right, that you worked. So when you leave on the 31st, just go ahead and record for those 4 days. Managers and supervisors should approve time the next Friday morning, February 1st. If you're already on pre-approved leave, you can go ahead and put it in anything else, but that would really be the only case. And this will help OSC in working the transfers over to us. And so don't enter any time beyond the 31st. Once the transfers have been worked, then, which will be the second week in February, then that's when you can go in and record that additional time. Okay, some of this I mentioned. Your parking will stay the same. If you have a spot downtown, you continue to have a spot downtown, same spot. And it'll still come out on a monthly basis. The parking spots are, DOA manages the parking spots. I think everyone who does park downtown, they got the form that they needed to complete in order to do the payroll change, and I believe we've gotten most, not all of those back. This is the name of our, Susan Chan is our parking coordinator. If there's ever an issue with your downtown parking, or if you need to add down the road, if CPS needs to add additional positions, she would be the coordinator between us and administration. So yeah, as new hires come on board that park downtown, or anybody who transfers them that needs a parking spot, we'll coordinate with Susan Chan for the parking. That's some good information, I guess, about parking, although parking doesn't apply. Most of you probably this doesn't even apply to you. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Veronica Watson. She's going to talk about the benefits.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday Eve. I'm going to talk to you all about your benefits and what will occur with optimization. First and foremost, your core benefits, which include your state health plan and your NC Flex benefits. They shall remain the same as you have elected back here in November, October with open enrollment. Those benefits will remain the same. Your state health plan, identification card or membership cards, they will, once the action is worked in Beacon by OSC, the information will be sent to the state treasurer, which is, they manage our state health plan and benefit cards. You will receive a new benefit card with our ITS group number. So it will no longer be public safety. You will now be officially IT group, and the group number is here. The changes are expected to occur probably mid-February, and you should hopefully receive your new state health plan cards by the end of February. We also want you to know that please continue to use your state health plan cards. They can call and verify on the 1-800 number on the back of the card. So if you have doctor's appointments, continue to use your current card, and we'll be able to, the medical facility can verify that you continuously have coverage. So don't concern yourself with if you haven't gotten your new card issued with ITS subscriber number on it. We will mail those, well, Office of State Controller will utilize the address that is current in Beacon, so just make sure that the address is updated and is accurate so that you can receive your updated medical insurance card. Please remember that state health plan premiums are always paid a month in advance, so January deductions will cover for February and going on throughout the whole year, so just be mindful of that. Department of Public Safety does offer agency-specific optional benefits. There are a list provided, and Becky Johnson is here. She is the benefits manager for DPS. Some employees that participate in these benefits have been contacted, and communication has went out to them in regards to the benefits, the process in which the benefits will be paid through non-payroll deduction. The benefits participants in these agency-specific benefits will end at the end of January. The last deductions for DPS-specific benefits will be made at the end of January. All agency-specific benefits may continue for employees that pay through the the vendor directly. So those that participate should have been already communicated to by Becky Johnson right here on this end. And last week she sent it out, so everyone should be aware that are impacted by this change. DIT, currently we have insurance committee. We are in the process of reviewing and updating our contracts for agency-specific benefits. None are currently offered, unfortunately, right now, but we are definitely working on that. Employees, DIT employees will be notified of eligible benefits in the future. The agency-specific benefit MetLife Dental is different from the NC Flex MetLife. So for those participants, if you would like to continue enrollment with that benefit, then you would be able, employees would be able to participate in that under the COBRA guidelines. And you do need to be aware that the premiums will not be deducted from payroll. Also, Becky Johnson has communicated to those employees to discuss their options. Another option to, if you had participated in the MetLife Dental, you can also participate in the NC Flex MetLife Dental. And we have asked that they communicate with Becky by the 15th so that the Office of State Controller is aware of these individuals and that they can go in behind the system and create a qualifying life event. It's really not, but that's how they were going to have to complete that enrollment process for you. Your last deduction for DPS MetLife will be at the end of the month, January 31st, and the coverage will last through February 29th because the MetLife Dental is paid a month ahead, similar to the state health plan. Okay? If you decide to choose the NC Flex Dental, the first deduction will be done at the end of March, and the coverage will be effective March 1. Okay? These are all the agency-specific benefits and the contact information provided to you, the vendor contact information. So just wanted to provide you that this PowerPoint will also be available on our SharePoint and on the website. So we, you can, if you want to take a screenshot, you can, but we'll also have it available to you. The dental insurance rate comparisons, we wanted to provide you the MetLife DPS, the MetLife NC Flex is pre-tax, and the DPS specific is MetLife, and the COBRA amount have been provided to you. So there's a slight difference Of course, with the VPS specific, there's only one plan. It's comparable to the high option. Comparable to the high option of the NC Flex plan. Your teasers, your retirement, that will remain the same. The 6% will continue to come out automatically. For those who participate in the 401k, 457, your contributions will remain the same. Your payment plans will also remain the same. Your plan overview, you should always go into the system on Prudential and review your account. If you would like, you are able to stop or make any changes at any given time with Prudential. Eventually, once the change has been made with Beacon, a feed will go over to Prudential, and once you view your account online, it will flip from public safety to information technology. So don't be shocked when you see it. It's going to happen, but the system has to receive the information. The vendor has to receive the information from OSC. We've provided to you some helpful links and contact numbers with the Department of Treasurer, with the Retirement Division, and Prudential contact information. We have provided to you a list of our HR personnel, contact people, contact information. Wanted to also include that we've provided to you our DIT payroll time personnel. We have one of our payroll time personnel employees back in the back, Ron Jackson. He's going to be working with us closely, and his team, Ms. Gloria Williams and Sarah Lane. So these are our point of contact for DIT payroll and time administration. DIT, we also have created a generalized email account. If you all have questions or concerns, just email us, and we can provide you the much-needed feedback and provide you with resources and steer you in the right direction. DIT.optimization/HR@nc.gov. We have a couple people on our optimization team that manages this email account, so we will be prompt in our response to you. We've also provided to you our optimization web page and several other different links that are HR related. We've also provided to you the IRS.gov withholdings calculator, provided to you some parking information links, and we've also definitely included their shared services, Office of State Controller contact number. And so let's stay connected. These are some of our wonderful logos and all these wonderful things that represent DIT, and you all welcome aboard. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Veronica.